So now we will create a very simple calculator with the help of the HTML and the CSS. As you can see, this is the simple calculator that we are going to create. So first of all, we are going to create a folder over here inside the HTML CSS projects folder. So we are going to create the folder that is named as calculator, since we are going to create a simple calculator over here. Now guys, inside this calculator folder, we are going to create the HTML and the CSS files. So first of all, we will create index.html file in this case, and then we are going to create another file in order to provide the styling with the help of the CSS file. So guys, over here we have the style.css file as well. So guys, inside the index.html file we will have our HTML elements. So we are going to use the emet abbreviation, that is exclamation mark, in order to create the HTML template over here. And for the title part, we are simply going to provide the string that is simple calculator. Now guys, apart from this, inside the body tag we are going to provide our code. So what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to create a div tag with the class that is main class over here, and inside this we are supposed to have the text area. So for reference over here, I have opened the calculator. In this case, that is a standard calculator. So this box over here where all the numbers will appear will be represented by this particular text area. So guys, over here we will provide the text area as the name and the ID as well. So I have provided the text area value for the name and ID part, and then initially we will provide the data as 0 in this case. Now guys, after this we are going to have another div tag with the class container, where we are going to define all these buttons that you can see. So guys, we can create all these buttons with the help of the div tags over here. So we are going to have the div tag with the class row in this case, and every button will be represented with the help of this particular class that is row over here. So guys, first of all, we have this button that is CE. So in this case, let us provide the data as well, and I'll simply going to copy this line of code over here, and we are going to provide other buttons that is C and then backspace, and then we have divide. So guys, over here for the clear part we will provide the capital X letter, and then over here we will provide the divide symbol. So guys, basically we have created the 4 div tags with the help of the class that is row over here, which we are going to use inside the style.css file. Let me just save this file now and try opening this file on the browser. So simply I'm going to copy this path over here, or simply you can also use the live server feature. So basically you can install the live server extension on the VS Code that will help you in order to go live over here. So guys, simply we can use this feature as well. So let me click over here on the go live button. As you can see, so it is starting right now, and basically by default this will be the URL where your server will be live and you will be able to view the HTML web page. Now guys, whatever changes you make in the HTML and the style.css file over here will be reflected on this HTML page. So over here we have not defined the CSS file to be linked to this particular HTML page. So simply we are going to use this link tag over here along with the rel attribute, that is style sheet, and the href attribute will have the style.css file, the file that we have created over here in order to define the CSS properties. So guys, let me just save this file now, and the changes will be automatically reflected over here. Now guys, what we want to do is, we want all these buttons, that is having these particular text, to be present on one particular row over here, and also we want them to have certain background color along with the fixed width and height. So guys, what we will do is, first of all, for the main class, that is for the main calculator over here, we will define certain CSS properties. So let's say we define the background color as a yellow color for the entire calculator, and we want it to be present at the middle of the screen over here. So guys, what we have to do is, let us also provide certain padding of 20 pixels. So let me just save this file now, and without actually reloading the page, you will see that the changes are now getting reflected on this particular URL. That's because of the live server that we are using. Now guys, what we want to do is, we want to have the fixed width of this particular calculator. So let's say we have the width of 40% over here as far as the entire width of the screen is concerned. So as you can see, this is the 40%. Let us reduce the width to 30% over here. So as you can see, this is the 30% width, and also in order to get this particular calculator at the middle of the screen, simply we can provide margin equal to auto over here. So guys, when we provide margin equal to auto, let me just save this file now, and as you can see, now the calculator is getting getting displayed at the middle of the screen over here. Now guys, let us provide certain CSS properties for this div tags in such a way that all these elements are displayed in one particular row over here. So what we have to do is we need to use this particular container class in this case. So guys, let me just correct the spelling of this container class over here, and then inside the style.css file we need to make use of this particular class, that is container, and then guys we need to provide the display property, it is equal to grid. That's because the layout that is getting displayed on this calculator app, it is in the form of the grid layout over here. So guys, similarly we are going to make use of this grid layout in this case. Let me just save this file now, and if we see the changes, there are no changes right now. That's because only one column is configured by default, and that is why all the div tags are coming inside just one column over here. In order to increase the number of columns, we need to make use of the grid template column CSS property, and then for this particular CSS property we need to provide the width of the columns. So guys, either you can provide some length measurement, or else you can also provide the auto keyword so that the width of the columns is taken automatically. And since we need 4 columns over here in order to provide the buttons inside the calculator in the form of the grid layout, we will be providing the auto keyword 4 times over here. So when we save this file once again, and if you notice the changes over here, as you can see, all the div tags are now getting displayed on just one line, and they are separated with the help of the columns inside the grid. Now guys, apart from this, also we want to provide certain CSS properties to all these buttons which are represented with the help of the div tag over here. So let me just copy the class name, that is row in this case, and then guys what we will do is we will provide the fixed width and height over here. So let's say we have 40 pixels of width and then also the 40 pixels of height in this case. So we provide the height attribute as well, and also we want to provide certain background color. So let's say we have the background color as gray color over here. So when we save this file, you will see that these are the changes that are getting reflected in this case. We have all the columns that are getting displayed over here, and we have the fixed width and height for this particular div tag. Apart from this, we will also get these characters at the center of the box over here. So what we will do is simply we will provide the text align, it is equal to center, and in order to get the letters vertically aligned, we can provide the line height attribute as well. So simply we will provide the line height attribute in this case, which must be equal to the height of this particular row class. So it is 40 pixels over here. When we save this file now, so as you can see, all the letters are now getting displayed at the middle of the button. Guys, we can provide a lighter version of this gray color over here. So let me just change the gray color to this particular lighter version. So when we save this file now, as you can see, these are the buttons that are getting displayed. Now guys, let me just zoom in little bit so that we can see the calculator properly over here. So as you can see, these are the top 4 buttons that are getting displayed over here. Now guys, apart from this, also we want to align this content inside the text area at the right hand side. So simply what we can do is we can have the text area tag over here, and simply we can provide the text align attribute. So in this case, we will provide text align, it is equal to right over here. So when we save this file, as you can see, now the number is getting displayed on the right hand side. Now guys, similarly what we will do is we will have these numbers and also the multiplication icon over here inside the second row as far as this container is concerned. So simply we have to come inside the index.html file, and I'll copy these lines of code over here, and simply we need to provide the content, that is 7, 8, 9 and then multiplication. So over here we will provide 7 as the number, then 8 and then 9, and then this multiplication as the small x letter. So let me just save this file now, and if you notice a change over here, as you can see, these are the buttons that are getting displayed on the second row now. Guys, apart from this, we can also provide certain row gap over here so that there is certain gap in between the rows in this case. So simply inside the CSS file for the container class, we can provide the row gap over here, and a row gap of 5 pixels can provide a good amount of gap in between the rows. So when we save this file now, as you can see, we have got the gaps in between the rows now. Now guys, apart from this, we will also provide the other numbers as well. So let me just copy paste these lines of code once again over here inside the HTML file. So guys, we have the third row over here inside the container, and this is how the buttons look like in this case. Apart from this, let me just quickly provide the last 2 rows over here as well inside this calculator. So guys, as you can see, we have also provided the last 2 rows over here, and apart from this, we have also adjusted certain width of the main class and the text area as well, in which case we have provided the number of columns and the number of rows in such a way that it aligns better along with the other buttons over here inside the container. Now guys, what we can do is, in order to make these buttons look more decent, we will provide the background color of white for all these numbers over here. So simply for the numbers inside this calculator, we are going to provide another class name, that is number in this case. And then guys, let me just copy this class name to the other numbers as well, so that only for these numbers we are going to have the white color as the background color. And then after providing the background color as well, we are going to also have the hover pseudo class that will change the background color when we get the mouse cursor on the buttons over here. So simply inside the style.css file, we will provide the number class in this case. And then guys, we are simply going to provide the background color of white color over here. Let me just save this file now. So as you can see, we have all these numbers with the white color in this case. Apart from this, we can also have certain borders as well. So guys, as you can see, we have the white colors for all these numbers right now. Apart from this, let us have some different shade of white color over here. So basically we are going to have this shade of white color over here. So as you can see, this is the background color. Now guys, when we get the mouse cursor on this particular row, that is the button, we want to change the background color to some different color in this case. So what we can do is, for this row class over here, simply we are going to have the hover pseudo class, and inside this we are going to have the background color. So let's say we want to have the background color as gray color in this case. Let me just save this file now. So now if we get the mouse cursor over here, as you can see, it is changing the background color to the gray color, which means it is giving some feedback to the user that this is the button that is going to be clicked in this case. Apart from this, also we will provide the cursor, it is equal to pointer over here. Let me just save this file now. So as you can see, the cursor is getting updated to the pointer icon over here. We can have some other version of the gray color as well based on your requirement. So let me just change it to some lighter version of the gray color over here. Let me just save this file now. So as you can see, the buttons are now getting a different background color in this case. So guys, based on your requirements, you can have the different background colors or any other CSS properties with the help of these class names, just like how we have defined inside the CSS file over here. Guys, we can also have multiple class names for a particular HTML element. As you can see, these numbers are having two class names over here, and from two different class names we are having the multiple CSS properties, and the CSS property that is defined at the later stage inside the external CSS file will be implemented on the user interface that is on the web page over here. So guys, in this way we have successfully created a very simple calculator with the help of the HTML and the CSS properties. Comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll be creating more HTML and the CSS projects in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned.